Hey everybody, Daily Kerbal again. Um, I've been thinking. I actually started recording another episode and then something went catastrophically wrong. And I realized that I have been kind of rushing to Duna, hoping to get, as much done with as few launches as possible. And in doing so, I have kind of neglected the infrastructure back here around our own planet. So much so that I believe like one of the least advanced, least developed, and least utilized space stations that we have is the one around Kerbin, and that is just not right. I don't actually mean that from a sentimental standpoint. I actually mean that we need fuel up on that station, and we need frequent flights taking off from there. Because in the long run, it is a lot more efficient to send spacecraft up to the space station, have them refuel there, and then go to Duna, because that way they generally tend to have a lot more fuel by the time they arrive. The station is not capable of facilitating that kind of traffic just yet, however, so we are going to have to work on that. So I have built us a space construction vehicle, also known as an SCV. I shorten it that way. Players of the game StarCraft might find that funny. I don't know if SCV actually stands for Space Construction Vehicle. I imagine it would, because that's exactly what an SCV does. Basically what this is going to do, once it gets up to the Kerbal Space Station, is it's got a bunch of monopropellant thrusters so that we can very easily maneuver around with it. In fact, I think it might actually be able to use a little more. Like on the tops and the bottoms, they're like that, just to give it some extra mobility. There we go. And what we're going to be doing with this is obviously traveling up to the space station, and then we're going to attach these two fuel pods to the two docking ports on opposite sides of each other. That is going to be today's mission. Fairly simple. A launch, an orbit, a rendezvous, and a series of dockings. So, it's got the grabber on the top, as you can see, for that particular reason, and then let's get a crew up there. Who we got? We don't actually need that much crew, just a pilot basically. So we'll take. We got Malber, we've got Nieldorf, Jogard, and Merbart. Let's take one of our more experienced ones. Let's take Jogard. And let's go. Check my staging before launch. Everything should be set. Riding one of our larger rockets again. I do so love these rockets. Anyway, SAS on. Thrust to maximum. Fuel view is on. Stage view is set. And let's go. Okay, nice and sturdy launch. I like it. I've unlocked a number of additional parts, by the way. Got a new surface scanning module. It's a device used to get a more accurate scan of the surface. I just found, by the way, I think I mentioned this in the previous episode. I got look at the Kerbal Encyclopedia, this one right here, and I learned a bunch of stuff about scanning the surface, stuff that I previously did not know. A lot of the stuff that, is involved with mining ore and all that kind of stuff is what I have little to no experience with. Oh crap. Oh boy. I think I'm gonna maybe toggle the torque here, see if that helps. I wonder what in the world is causing this. Holy smokes. I did not put any reaction wheels inside this capsule, I don't think so. So I don't know why we're wobbling so much. Anyway, this should get better once we exit that stage and go to this one. Yeah. Okay, that's better. And it didn't compromise our speed too much. We're way overfueled for just a simple orbit. Like, way overfueled. That's... I mean, I'm not very efficient when it comes to this game. I pretty much just toss a bunch of fuel pods on there and kind of like, yeah, it's got to be enough, right? Sure, yeah. Okay. We've got an apoapsis above 70,000, so now let's point ourselves to the horizon and start burning. Don't actually need to be burning that quickly. Might as well set the Dinkelstein Kerbal Station as our target. I also picked up, by the way, the reason that I got to thinking about doing this is because I picked up a contract to build a orbital station around Ike. That's going to be the next thing that I want to get done. The mistake that I was referring to, something that happened, is I accidentally, kinda, sorta, you know, a bit blew up the Ike station. Turns out that just, you know, placing radiators on the hull doesn't actually help all that much. Because I started the ore filter thing, the ore converter, and after like half a day of functioning, it blew the cupola module off of the top of the station. So yeah, that was fun. Making sure nothing in that stage is going to happen that's bad. Might as well deploy... No, I'm not going to deploy the fairing. I will not deploy the fairing. Deploying the fairing causes a bunch of problems. Turn off stage U. It makes the vessel unstable, and this vessel is connected with a two-way adapter to the fuel tank back there. And the problem with it is that I think it only connects to one of them. Like, the game assumes that I'm routing... I think this is meant to be used the other way around, right? You're meant to be having, like, a Rockomax-sized thing connecting it to an LV-sized thing, and then the rockets are supposed to be on that end. I do it the other way around, though. I have a double-ended rocket for the SCV, and then I want to connect it to a Rockomax thing. Now, it only connects, out of the two connectors, it only connects it to one of the engines, I think, so then the other one is just kind of hanging out there. If I remove this, then it's going to start wobbling, and, you know, that actually might have been the reason that the vessel wobbled as much as it did. Anyway. Yeah, this is going to be a tough orbit, if we even make it. Just going to go for a full burn. The orbiting is the hard part, right? Afterwards, rendezvousing with the station is pretty easy. So, as for the Ike station, it kind of got me to considering we might actually want to do that entire building a base on Ike thing all over again. Because I think I jumped the gun. In you know, all honesty. I think perhaps it would have been a better idea. Of course, I didn't have the parts available at the time, so there was obviously no way I could have done this right there. But I think what I want to do is build an orbital station and then just fly a ship in low orbit, like very low orbit over Ike, carrying one of those surface scanners and looking for a good spot. Like, I know that the survey satellite didn't show us any good spots, like, at all, but maybe that carrying that surface scanner to the surface, you know, to a low orbit might actually reveal a good spot along the equator. And if there's a good spot along the equator, then that's what we should be using. Okay, come on, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. There we go. Okay, now I want to leave as much fuel up there as possible. The pods that I'm deploying, by the way, they're not just there to have fuel, but I also have them up there to put these larger size docking ports. You know, the larger the surface of connection, the more stable the station will be. So I guess we're gonna rendezvous now. So let's fly over to periapsis. There we go. Rotate to prograde, nice and slowly because the vessel is a behemoth. And then let's just burn until we get an intersection. 0.7 degree angle, that's pretty big. Alright. Okay, this is perfect. Like, almost. Actually at the exact right point to correct this, so hang on, let's flip to anti-normal. Oh no, I'm not. I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong spot. Anyway. I was looking at the station. Well, this is pretty much what we want. We want to be catching up to the station, traveling at a slower orbit, or a lower orbit than we are. So that's good. Now, just gonna burn this until this goes down. I imagine we'll be running out of fuel shortly. If I could perform the rendezvous with that Poodle engine, then that would be swell. That is about as close as we're going to get to 0. That'll do. Okay, now we just kind of rotate. Kind of let the orbiting happen. And it should take us like maybe 2 or 3 orbits before we catch up. Nope, that's actually perfect. Okay, now quickly, prograde. Oh my god, this is not going fast enough. We just need to even this out. Look, it's very close. It's 26 kilometers. That's practically spitting distance in space. Come on. And I'm pushing in the wrong way. God darn it. I turned off torque. Darn it. Okay, there we go. And stop. 2.6 kilometers, that's acceptable. Alright. Why did we stop warping? Oh, for crying out loud. Never mind. It's gonna decay our orbit. And increase the distance. That was stupid of me. We're not gonna fall back down. We're not even gonna start the burn. But I guess I am gonna have to. I'm gonna have to fix this somewhat. Kind of use the ship's engines to counteract this. There, it's about the best that I can do. It's gonna drop back down to about 3 kilometers before our orbit stops decaying. Which means this is going to be a fuel-consuming going to be a fuel-consuming drop for sure. Rendezvous. I was going to say rendezvous. How high up are we? Almost back up above 70. 4.6 kilometers. Well, intersect has now become a lot larger than I initially wanted, but still doable. Alright. Well, that could have gone better. Alright. Okay, let's do this. I think we actually want to be slowing down compared to our target. I'm burning the wrong direction. Gosh darn it. I'm just not into it this morning. I should probably not record Kerbal Space Program in the morning. Anyway. Let's try to match up our heading. There we go. There we go. Slowed down a bit. That's just fine. Got a 3.1 kilometer separation up ahead of us. So that's good. Speed up a bit. Do another correction burn. I'm actually going to go back to prograde and burn in that direction for a bit. So that we can speed up towards it a little bit. Oh, 0.9. All right, we're closing in. Okay. All we really need to do with this vessel is just park it. Park it nice and close. Yeah. So yeah, this station hasn't seen a lot of action. That's for sure. And you can see that we've kind of neglected it. It's still got the old LV size fuel canisters. 50 meters should be a good distance. I actually don't want to be moving away from it, so I'm going to flip us to the other direction and kind of tap the fuel button just once. We are now technically parked next to it. 45-meter distance. Still apparently moving away from it slightly, so I'll just tap it again. There. We're now heading towards it very slowly. All that's fine. Anyway, let's deploy this fairing. There we go. Let us deploy the fuel tanks. Good. They are deployed. I put them at 0 ejection force, so they wouldn't be violently thrust aside. And I'll also do that to these now that I think... Oh, never mind. Too late. Okay. Before I do that, I already ejected it. No, I didn't. Okay, so what I... darn it. Should have done that. That's 50 units of fuel that I wasted, but doesn't matter. I'm not going to get hung up over that. Alright. No, wait, I want the... It was still attached. Ugh! Darn it. Darn that, too. Oh, this is all going terribly. Anyway. That one's spinning out of control, so we're going to go pick that one up first. Oh, this should be fun. I now have to grab onto an item that's an object that's in space that's rotating. And drag it back over there. Come on. Come on. Well, I grabbed it. Okay. Now let's do a little space construction. Where'd the other fuel tank go? Okay, let's not lose sight of that one, because it too appears to be floating away. Okay, now the question is, where do I want to attach this to? I think I want to attach it to this one. Okay, gonna want to slow us down. Alright. Now, the hard part. Okay. Sorry if I've gone quiet. This is... This is ridiculous. I missed terribly. Okay. That's fine. Let's see if maybe now I can control this from here and see what happens. Okay. Okay. Come on, come on. Get it, get it, get it. Yes. Oh, thank God. Okay, that's part one. Now, where'd the other one go? Let's detach. Holy smokes. Okay, that was a bit more violent than I expected. Stabilize, please. Okay, something weird happened to the arm there, but... is that the one I'm after? I think that's the one I'm after. So let's go catch up to it. Even the episodes of this series that are supposed to be, like, short and, you know, to the point. And relatively easy. I always end up getting some kind of complication like this. And I mean, it's very rarely not my fault. Oh, hang on a second. Is that it? That one's 8 kilometers away. I'm gonna assume it's not. That one's 1,000 meters away. Okay, darn it, which one is it? Here it is. And we are... Yep. Okay. I messed up. Again. That's the one. Oh man, I suck at this game. But I mean, I built such a nice little spaceship, didn't I? Okay, let's just flip over to retrograde. And get ready to slow us down. Okay, now I slowed us down too much. That's fine, I'm just going to let the retrograde, the RCS thrusters take care of the rest. I was debating whether or not to put additional reaction wheels onto this. I just kind of assumed that the internal ones would be enough. I am regretting that now. I feel like this vessel could have used some more control. Okay, now in this case, since this one isn't spinning out of control like the other one is, I'm gonna grab it by its docking port. so that the docking port that we're going to use to attach it to the station is straight ahead. I miss that old docking interface that I used to have in my old Kerbal Space Program game. I had like a modded version that showed a bunch of extra information like alignment and stuff. Here I'm kind of just eyeballing it. I'm not at all aligned with this. Well, we grabbed it though. Yeah, that's good enough, I guess. Alright. The monopropellant that I am burning to do all this is just unbelievable. Let's head back to the station. All this must have been so much easier with the space shuttle. I should really learn to make one of those. Okay, now we do want to move over to the other side of the station. As my music cuts out. Just got to the end of the playlist. Alright. Okay, we can slow down. Move downward. And that way. And a bit forward too. To move forward, I can just use the engine. There. Shoot. That's very fast. Too fast. Too fast. Oh boy. Okay. Okay. Good. Good, good. Now, let's align ourselves. More or less. And then once we get this done, I'm gonna dock the SCV, and then that's gonna be it. There we go. We're on target now. I also could have attached these up there, I guess. But I didn't. I'm attaching them here. Couldn't attach them there, though. They would have hit the solar panels. Which, by the way, those solar panels are pretty useless now. Boop. Okay, so that part is done. I'm almost afraid to do this, but yeah. I wonder if there's something that I'm doing wrong here. Anyway, it's time to find ourselves a nice juicy docking port. I'm going to go with that one. All right. Let's align it. Let's also disarm the arm. And now we control from here. And bring us in. Tapping the buttons. Oh man, this is beautiful. This is almost, I can even probably just take this off right now. Just adjust it a bit. There we go. Docked. Ah. Sweet. I love it. It's a first very small step, but we have extra larger amounts of fuel. I like it's good to have fuel in larger tanks because it eliminates my having to fumble by, you know, right-clicking on every single one of these fuel pods. Just makes it a lot easier. A lot of the parts on the station are also antiquated. It doesn't have particularly good solar collection. It doesn't have very good solar panels on it. All in all, this station still needs a lot of work. Also, this vessel, we haven't really used it that much at all. I think we might even just not want it here anymore. And look, I managed to get like this little thing up here. Maybe even something this size would be more than enough to serve as kind of the carrier. Anyway, I'm going to jump back to the tracking station. I'm going to clean up the mess that I made, terminating all this debris. There we go. Don't terminate the Ike truck by mistake. We do have some debris from our landing with the base and with the truck. So let's get rid of these two. There. Alright, everything else is just decommissioned stuff, right? Yep. Alright. Well, that's that for this mission. It went better than expected, worse than hoped, I guess. Made a bunch of mistakes along the way. Let's hope I don't repeat those in the future. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, everybody. We're going to continue working on the space station a little bit. It definitely needs some work. I feel like I might want to attach 2 more of these pods up here and here. The good news is now I can afford to just launch these pods up right next to it and have the SCV take over the rest of the work there. That's going to do it for me today. Thank you very much for watching, everybody.